There are millions of people in the UK who have had, with or without their consent, PPI added to their loans. If you look at this document below, you can see there's a loan amount of £8,000 and a PPI policy for £2,632.97p. Now let's be clear here. In theory, PPI is a fantastic idea. It should offer full peace of mind by covering your loan repayments if you fall ill, or if you have an accident, or God forbid you pass away, or if you lose your job. It should also be relatively cheap, costing just pounds to cover your loan repayments each month, and it should be fully adjustable to cater for your changing circumstances. If your income goes up with promotions at work, or perhaps if it drops if you're looking to start a family. You should also be able to cancel the policy when you no longer need it. So when you pay off the loan, you can actually just walk away from the loan and cancel the policy and not have to pay anymore. But in reality, nearly all PPI policies that are sold when you take out a loan, i.e. that run alongside the loan, are just not like this. These aren't tailor-made policies that fit around you. They're a one-size-fits-all option. Because they're not researched nearly well enough, 85% of people who try to claim on these policies are simply refused. Worse, you're sold what's called a block policy, which is referred to as a single premium. So the premiums to cover your loan repayments for a 5-year period are calculated and they're lumped onto the front of the loan, so you are charged up front. They're also incredibly expensive. Most people, when they go for a loan, are anxious for the money, and unfortunately, most of them will sign whatever is presented in front of them. Now, knowing that, the lenders are charging sometimes up to 20 times more than the current market rate and adding it to the loan. So even if your circumstances change dramatically, you simply cannot alter the policy. If your employment changes, if your lifestyle changes, you've already paid the premiums, they've been added to the loan, you can't change them. And after 30 days, there is no way out because the PPI policy becomes an integral part of the loan. Effectively, like a ball and chain around your ankle, you're just stuck with it. So hang on a minute here. If these policies perform so badly, they're so overpriced, and they can't be tailored to fit around you and your circumstances, you the borrower, why do the lenders persist in selling them? Well, there's just one reason really, and you probably know what it is yourself, and that's profit. Without your knowing, each time the lenders set up one of these single premium PPI policies, they can receive up to 85% commission from the policy itself. So let me just give you that in perspective. If you have a single PPI premium of £1,000, which you would find on a loan of perhaps £3,000, £4,000, £6,000, something like that, the PPI premium of £1,000, the lender will receive up to £850 in commission. That policy is worth no more than £150 to you. Worse, if your single premium is £5,000, and that will be found on loans of £15,000, £20,000, £25,000, at 85%, the lender can receive up to £4,250 commission. In many cases, this represents far more profit than from the loan itself. Now, there's a problem here. You see, when the lender takes out a loan with you, they have to act in your best interests all the way through, not theirs. And by law, they have to declare any profit they make when they deal on your behalf. Now, when they earn these commissions, they are obliged to tell you. Whenever they do not, you can reclaim all your money back plus interest at the same rate they are charging you. So think about that. If you have a personal loan from one of the high street banks, the interest might be 6 or 7%. You're going to charge that on top of the PPI policy. If, however, you may have suffered in the past and have some adverse credit, or you've gone for a car finance deal, the APR and the interest rate might be up in the 40 or 50%. You are entitled to claim that back from the lender at the same rate. So listen, forget what you've heard, all this mis-selling. Forget the fact that you can probably never claim like the 85% of other people. Forget the fact that you weren't asked all the relevant questions, so you probably shouldn't have been sold the policy in the first place. Forget the fact that you might have had other policies. Forget the fact you might be in full-time employment with sick pay, so you'd never be eligible to claim. You are entitled for a full refund for some very specific reasons. The lender must return your money plus interest. One, for selling you a block policy. That's not in your interest, it's in theirs, so they can take the commission. For adding the premium to the loan. That's not in your interest, it's in theirs to increase the size of the loan. For secretly taking a huge commission. That's just extortion. That's not insurance. For charging you interest on the policy as well. So not only is the PPI policy stuck on the loan, you then pay interest on the PPI policy from day one. And also for increasing the total size of the loan. That's not in your interest. If you want to borrow £20,000, if you have a PPI policy of £5,000 on top, the real loan is £25,000. So if you want to refinance, especially now with the credit crunch, it may well really prejudice what you can borrow. So the lender is at fault. They must return this money. So thousands of people, just like you, are successfully claiming their money back right now. And the average claim we handle is £8,000. And you might think to yourself, £8,000, that's a lot of money. These guys must have borrowed fortunes. But that's not the case. Let me just give you two examples. Against a car loan taken out in 2005 for £7,590, the PPI premium was £1,874 over a 10-year term. The claim for our client is £8,958 because of the size of the PPI policy and also the interest that they're charging the client on the loan itself. Now, if you take the secured loan, which was taken out just last year for £23,000, the PPI premium was £5,632. Now, the claim here is £16,435. Now, the lenders are still offering these PPI policies. Listen, the Citizens Advice Bureau, all the consumer groups, and even the Competition Commission this year called for the sale of these policies to be outlawed. But there is such huge profit in there, the lenders still persist. So look, all you need to do is check all of your loan agreements, because PPI can be added to all sorts of loans, whether it's a personal loan, a secured loan, car finance, or a loan for home improvements, timeshare, caravans, holiday homes, motorbikes, caravans, you name it. If you have a loan, there's a good chance that you've been offered or have been given PPI. So wherever you have a lump sum PPI, you are entitled to claim back all of your money, and the average claim is £8,000. So go now and just find all of your agreements, and you can go back 6 years. Even if the loan is paid off, you can still get your money back. Go and dig out all of those agreements. In reality, each one is probably worth around about £8,000. Think about it. How many loans have you had over the past 5-6 years? Each one is probably worth around about £8,000. So listen, as soon as you've got your agreements, please get straight back to the person who thought enough of you to give you this information, and they will tell you exactly how much you can claim for each credit agreement. Thousands are claiming right now, thousands of them, but bet your bottom dollar, just like with the bank charges, the lenders will look to delay the process and sidestep it. So you need to act now to get back all of the money that you're entitled to claim.